Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. I'm Brother Yawanathan, a servant for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, a prisoner of hope, a Hebrew Israelite scattered among the heathen. Luke 14:23. And Yahweh said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. Matthew 10:7. As ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Isaiah 61:1. The Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because Yahweh has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captivity, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. Yes, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. This morning I had a vision, a dream that I was pulling out a sword from the ground, and it glowed. It had different colors on it. Yes, yes, yes. And on my way here, I was walking and I saw a chariot in the sky. I was like, that's where I'm about to go preach at, the chariot in the sky. Yes, yes. And earlier I was listening to the Indianapolis brothers. They was preaching, and then I nodded off for a minute, and then when I woke up, they was talking about spiritual powers. So we gonna get them spiritual powers, brother. Yes, we are. You just gotta hold on, endure to the end. Genesis 49:1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourself together, and hear ye sons of Jacob, and hearken to Israel your father. So Jacob, that's the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans. So he's telling you to gather yourselves together, and hear ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Hearken to these scriptures, to these oracles. Exodus 19:3. And Moses went up unto Yahweh, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus saith, thus shall, let me get that. And Moses said, went up unto Yahweh, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shalt thou say to the children of Israel, ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle wings and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. So that's what the Lord is telling us, if we keep with these commandments, and stay on the right track. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And you, the children of Israel, Jacob, the sons of Jacob, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in numbers than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn your fathers, has Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of the bondman, from the hands of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Deuteronomy 8:1. All the commandments which I command thee this day shall you observe to do, that ye may live and multiply, and go in and possess the land which Yahweh swears unto your fathers. So we got to keep these commandments, you know. And thou shalt remember all the ways which Yahweh thy power led thee 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thy heart, whether thou wouldst keep his commandments or no. So the Lord, that's why he had us in the wilderness, to see if we was going to keep his commandments or no. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee mammon, which thou knewest not, neither did thy father know, that he might make thee known, that man does not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh does man live. So let's retract on them words. He said, and he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee mammon, which thou knewest not, neither did thy father know, that he might make thee known. So, you know, the commandments wasn't brought in, you know, they wasn't ready, you know. The fathers didn't know it, or they know it. That he might make thee known that man does not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out the mouth of Yahweh does man live. You know, so the Lord, that mammon, you know, the Lord ain't gonna tell them, you know, I'm gonna give you this bread, but you know, but by every word that proceeded out my mouth, the Lord does man live. You know, the mammon was the word of the Lord. The Lord was feeding them that mammon. You know, that was the word of the Lord. Neither did thy father know, that he might make thee known, that man does not live by bread only. So he ain't gonna say, you know, man don't live by bread only, but I'm gonna give you this bread. Nah, he was feeding them that word, that knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding. But by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahweh does man live. Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of thy Yahweh thy power. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Verse 36. Yahweh shall bring thee and thy kings which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy father have known. And there shalt thou serve gods, woods and stone, which serve other gods, woods and stone. So we know that the Lord is serving them, is telling them these gods don't even breathe, they don't talk, they made of wood and stone. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations where Yahweh shall lead thee. And that's what we is to this day right now. You know, they calling us that nigger word. They calling the wetback. They calling them Indians. You know, we're none of them. But since the Lord said it, it must go down. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness. And right now, you know, we can't go to the lake and get no water, you know. We got to buy our water. We got to buy our clothes. We got to buy our food. Even if you want to fish, they'll charge you to fish. And in want of all things, anything, medicine. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And boy, are we destroyed as a... And if you don't think so, just look around. The household is tore up. Verse 58. If thou would not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh thy power. Zechariah 1 and 2. Yahweh has been sore displeased with your fathers, therefore say thou unto them, thus says Yahweh of hosts, turn ye unto me, says Yahweh of hosts, and I will turn unto you, saying, Yahweh of hosts, says Yahweh of hosts. Verse 4, be ye not as your fathers, unto whom the former prophets have cried, saying, thus says Yahweh of hosts, turn ye from your evil ways and from your evil doings. But they did not hear, nor hearken unto me, says Yahweh. Your fathers were, where are they? And the prophets, do they live forever? But my words and my statutes, which I command my servants, the prophets did, they not take hold of your fathers. And they returned and said, like as Yahweh of hosts thought to do unto us, according to our ways and according to our doings, so has he dealt with us.
Hallelujah.
So the word of the Lord is not coming back void. If he says something, you know, you can bet everything you got on it that it's going to come to pass and it's going to happen.
I don't got nothing.
Lamentations 1 and 18.
18.
Yahweh is righteous, for I have rebelled against his commandments. Hear, I pray you, all people, and behold my sorrows. My virgins and my young mans are gone into captivity. And that's what we're doing right now.
Can I see for a minute? Can I see for a minute?
No, you can't. Nehemiah 9 and 33. How bet thou art just in all that is brought upon us, for thou hast done right, but we have done wickedly. So the Lord is just and right in all the things he do. Nehemiah 9 and 33. That's Nehemiah. How bet thou art just in all that is brought upon us, for thou hast done right, but we have done wickedly. You know, So the Lord, he's just and right in all his ways. Zechariah 2:1. I lift up my eyes again and looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand. Then said I, where goest thou? And he said unto me, to measure Jerusalem, to see what is the breadth thereof, and what is the length thereof. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him, and said unto, run, speak to the young man, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as a town without walls, for the multitude of men and cattle therein. For I, says Yahweh, will be unto her a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. Ho, come forth, and flee from the land of the north, says Yahweh, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven, says Yahweh. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest in the daughters of Babylon. For thou sayest, Yahweh of hosts, after the glory has he sent me unto the nations which spoil you. For he that touches you touches the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants, and ye shall know that Yahweh of hosts hath sent me. Sing and rejoice, O daughters of Zion, for lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, says Yahweh, and many nations shall be joined to Yahweh in that day, and shall be my people, and I will dwell in the midst of thee. And thou shalt know that Yahweh of hosts has sent me unto thee. And Yahweh shall inherit Judah his portion in the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. Be silent, O all flesh, before the angels of Yahweh, for he is raised up out of his holy habitation. Yes, so the Lord has raised up out of it. He's finna come get us, you know. He's finna bring us to the city without walls, and he's gonna be the wall of fire around us. And that measuring stick, you know, to measure the Jerusalem, you know, to measure the holy man of the Lord, to measure the hopeful elect, the remnant. Deuteronomy 30:3. That then Yahweh thy power would turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations where Yahweh thy power has scattered thee. If any of thy be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. So you can be into the utmost parts of heaven, and if you're a part of that remnant, you know you are, he's going to come and gather you and fetch thee. 5. And Yahweh thy power will bring thee unto the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thy above thy fathers. And Yahweh thy power will circumcise thy heart and thy hearts of thy seed, to love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And Yahweh thy power will put 7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemy and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. Yes. And we know who hate us and persecute us. Esau Edom, the Edomite villain, aka the mistress of witchcraft. Yes, and this is what this lesson is tonight, about the mistress of witchcraft. Yes, and Esau Edom, we know that he's a well-known cross-dresser, you know, so we're still talking about he is the mistress of witchcraft, you know, because he's a cross-dresser. Obadiah 10 through 15. Obadiah 10 and 15. Obadiah 10 through 15. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers cried away captive, his forces and foreigners intrigued into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that thou became a stranger. Neither should thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither should thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Yet thou stoodest not, having looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their subjects in the day of their calamity. Neither should thou have stood in the crossway to cut off his that did escape. Neither should thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. And thou hast done, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So you gonna get it. You gonna get it. The mystery of witchcraft. Micah 7, 8 through 10. Rejoice not against me, O my enemies, when I fall. I shall arise when I sit in darkness. Yahweh shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him, until he pleads my cause and executes judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is my enemy shall see it. And who is that she? Well, let's look. Revelations 17 and 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, an abomination of the earth. That's who is she. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? He said they will have a shameful spewing. My eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Yes, she's going to be trodden down, this whore. Nahum 1 and 3. Nahum 2 and Nahum chapter 1 and 2. Yahweh is jealous and Yahweh revenges. Yahweh revenges and is furious. Yahweh will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserves wrath for his enemies. Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Yahweh has his way in the whirlwind, and in the storm, and in the clouds are the dust of his feet. So Yahweh's gonna have his way, when them nukes be shot over here in the whirlwind. Joel 3 and 17. So shall ye know that I am Yahweh your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. So ain't no strangers gonna pass through. Ezekiel 35. Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Sinai, and prophesied against it, and say unto it, Thus says Yahweh, power, behold, Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hands against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetuous hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, says Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So since you don't mind spilling blood, the Lord, blood gonna pursue you. Thus will I make Mount Sinai most desolate, and cut off from it him that passes out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountain with his slain man. In thy hills and in thy valleys and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolated, and thy cities shall not return. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast said, These two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and will possess it, where Yahweh was there. So the north and the south kingdom, he said he gonna possess us. Therefore, as I live, says Yahweh power, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself. And thank you.
No problem.
Brother gave me some water. Therefore, as I live, says Yahweh power, I would even do according to thy anger and according to thy enemy, says Yahweh, has used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemy which thou hast spoken against the mountain of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. So he's saying, he see that we down and out. He said they lay desolate, man. We gonna take them and consume them. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus says Yahweh power, when the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seirus, and all Idumean, even all of it, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So, when this Babylon, get desolate, it's going to be inhabited of devil, of what? Of foul, the fowls of the earth, Only birds going to come over here. And they going to have to be strong to inhale that stinking smell that's going to be over here. Psalms 109. Yeah. Psalms 109 and 15. Let them be before Yahweh continuously, that he may cut off the memory of them from the earth, because that he remembered not to show mercy, but pursued the poor and needy man, and he might even slay the brokenhearted. As he loved cursing, so let it come unto him. As he delighted not in blessings, so let it be far from him. So he despised his blessing, Esau, Edom. So, like it said, because that he remembered not to show mercy, but prosecuted the poor and needy man. He didn't show